Hi everyone. Today I'm going to give you a brief overview of what I call the retro connected alarm clock. Let's check it out. The custom wooden shell has a Google Home, a wireless charger, USB charger, as well as an analog clock all inside of it. Several years ago, I was about to scrap an old oven and decided to pull out the old timer clock unit. Fast forward several years and I finally decided to do something with it. The wood box that you see here is from a speaker that I tried to build about a year ago, but I couldn't find the right size drivers. So I decided to reuse it. I cut out the front so that the clock would fit, and then I cut a hole in the bottom for some mesh for the speaker and microphone for the Google Home to go in. I've always loved the look of black walnut, especially contrasted with some light wood like the pine on the box, so I decided to use it for the trim color. I paid over $12 on Amazon for just this one little slab of wood. I couldn't find any locally. If you look here, I've got another little piece that I was gonna use, but I only had the one little piece and it wasn't quite the color I was looking for. I tried to illustrate what I wanted to make it look like on this paper, but you're just gonna have to follow along because I can't draw. Now that I had all my materials, the next thing I had to do was cut all the trim. Thankfully, my grandpa has a ton of woodworking stuff. He used to do a lot at his old house, but due to his health and location, he doesn't do a ton anymore. So he let me use it all. So I had to do all these little cuts on the walnut, and that was a pain, but in the end, it was all worth it, even though I had to check and cut and check and cut. In the end, it all fit up really nice, and it really had the look I was going for. The box I was using had a notch already cut in the front for like a lid. So these went in really easy and they looked really nice from the side. Now that all the cuts on the box were done, the next thing to take care of was the electronics, which were the most time consuming part. This is the kind of the heart of everything. It has the wireless charger and the USBs on it. And this is another wireless charger that I had to swap the pad from because the pad wasn't the right size for the box. As you can see here, I cut a hole in the top of the box and then I made a thin walnut slab to put in there so that you can put the wireless charger in there and then the walnut goes right on top and you just have this really sleek flat top. The USB plugs on the charger board were pretty flimsily soldered on and one of them was breaking off, so I decided to desolder them from the board and then cut little wires to make sort of an extension so I could put them where I wanted anyways. And I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I was pretty happy with how it turned out. Colorful. I only needed one USB to power the Google Home. I routed one to the outside with a nice clean adapter so that I could charge other things as well. Once it was all ready to go, it was pretty easy to put together. If you notice, that round circuit board is from the Google Home, and the black part is the speaker driver. Once I had everything assembled, the only thing left to do was stain the wood case. If you look on the board here, you can see that on the left there's a light kind of stain, and on the right it's a lot more noticeable, has a better finish. This Minwax natural stain is what's on the right, and then on the left here is the wipe-on poly. The stain also looked better on the walnut, but you can't tell as much on that because it's a darker wood. When I went to stain it, I made a few mistakes. The first was not wearing gloves. By the time I put them on, my hands were super sticky and nasty. The second was starting out with a paper towel. That's not the right way to do it. You're supposed to use a staining rag or a brush or something depending on the finish you want. But a little ways through, I figured that out and I decided to use a rag instead. This rag was not good either, but it was a lot better than the paper towel. In the end, I put 3 coats of stain on it and I was happy with how it looked. It could still probably use some sort of a polyurethane or some sort of plastic coating that would go on the outside and make it look nicer, as well as be more durable, but I'm happy with it for now. Here's the final product. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. On the bottom here you can see the power port for the Google Home. That's kind of nestled under that leg and you can't even see it from the outside. On the top I have the wireless charger port and the indicator light is up above it there. And then on the left, those 4 dots are for the Google Home. And last but not least is the USB charger on the side. That really turned out nicely. The adapter I had fit really nice into the hole I made. So that's it. This project took me a lot of time and effort, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I hope you've enjoyed watching the short breakdown I've made of it. And if you enjoy this kind of content, check out my channel. I have some other videos that are kind of similar. Thanks for watching.